The Z Fold 8 has to be great. Yeah, I sat around and thought about that one. It rhymes. So the Z Fold 8, Z Fold 8 Wide Ultra, they're coming very, very soon, next couple of weeks. And I'm excited. The Z Fold folding phones are the most exciting, I think, folding phones every year, at least here in the States, because it's the best one we can get in America. And speaking of America, happy 250th yesterday, July 4th. Hopefully everyone still has their fingers and toes and eyes and had a wonderful, safe holiday if you're celebrating. But the Z Fold 7 has not aged well. The Z Fold 7 has not aged well. And last year, I called it the best phone of the year. And I think the Z Fold 7 is an amazing phone. It's a really good phone. They changed a lot of stuff. They made it thinner. They made the inside screen bigger. They made the outside screen bigger. They gave us the 200 megapixel camera. They upgraded the selfie on the inside and got rid of that 4 megapixel under display camera that sucked and gave us a real selfie camera. They gave us a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 1 processor. And there's a lot of different things that they did. But mostly, it's just a really good phone and really enjoy using it. And they went a different direction. They went a different direction than a lot of other folks who maybe kind of kept some of the same old dimensions, but bumped things up in like the camera department, the battery department, the charging department. There have been war cries for the last year or two, for Samsung to up their battery life. And they stuck with the same old stubborn 4,400 milliamp battery, which still, for me, felt like it got me through the day. I didn't have a whole lot of problems. But whenever you have phones like this, enter in from stage right with the Oppo Find N6, or you've got the Honor Magic V6, or you've got some of these other foldable phones that are doing amazing things. They're giving us like 6,000 milliamp batteries and newer chipsets. And like, look at the camera module on the Oppo Find N6. Look at the camera module on the Z Fold 7. It's like, as much as Samsung put into it, most people, even the Razr Fold, they're like running laps around them in many different ways this year, whether it's charging speed, whether it's battery life, whether it's the processor, whether it's the camera setup. Like, there's been a lot of big changes. This last year has been the most consequential and the biggest. It has been the biggest year for foldable phones in a very long time, and we've seen it across the board. It's not just Motorola, it's not just Oppo, not just Vivo. It's like everybody is taking things up and dialing up a notch. And that's why I say the Z Fold 8 has to be great. Now, we're going to get two models this year, and this is maybe part of their way that they plan on doing this because, well, not everybody wants product A and not everybody wants product B, so let's give them product A and B at the same time, right? So we're expected to get the Z Fold 8, which people were calling the wide before, but it now seems kind of settled that it's just going to be the Z Fold 8, which is going to have a shorter and a wider platform stance on it, which I'm excited about. And it looks like it might even be about $100 cheaper than the Z Fold 7 was last year, which I think would be a win. But if you take a look at the back of the images we've seen, it only has 2 cameras. There might be some other trade-offs. That right there might rub people the wrong way. However, is that enough to keep somebody from buying the new cool form factor? I don't know. And then we are also hearing about foreseeably a Z Fold 8 Ultra, which I don't even know what they're going to change in the Ultra. They're saying high resolution screen, maybe a little bit bigger battery, maybe they might change out some of the camera stuff. Whatever it is, it's got to be great. Because the competition out there is such now that they're on the doorstep. Like, they didn't just show up at the front door. They showed up at the front door with the stinking cake after church on Sunday and walked into your house and put their feet up on the chair. Like, Samsung has been a little bit slow in the upgrading some of the different areas departments, like the brightness. The brightness on some of these other screens is like twice what you get with the Z Fold. The battery is like 30-40% larger. I mean, they're just doing so much in so many areas. And Samsung has been safe for a very long time because in the United States, of course, you can't get an Oppo, you can't get a Vivo, you can't get a Huawei, you can't get a Xiaomi, you can't get a lot of these phones without going to eBay or importing them through a third party. You don't know how it's going to work with the carriers. They're not officially supported by the carriers. You don't know like how easy is it going to be to make a warranty repair, things like that. So Samsung was pretty safe. But now we're right on the doorstep of the Pixel 11 Pro Fold, which will be here soon. And I really like the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. I think it's a really good phone. And I think that Google did a really good job with it. And it's something that, of course, Samsung has to compete with. And then we have the Razr Fold. And the Razr Fold has showed up and it basically took everybody by surprise with how stinking good it was. And on top of that, they added 7 years of support. It's got much faster charging, a much brighter screen. It's got a better processor. It's got better cameras. And by all accounts, you take a look at it. I mean, the Razr Fold is, I think, probably the best foldable phone you can get in the US right now. And it competes really, really well. So, but here's another thing to think about. This phone's a year old, right? The Razr Fold is like 6 weeks old. The Oppos and the Honor Magic V6 just officially globally launched like 4 weeks ago. So we're in a position where we're comparing phones that have been out for a month, 2 months, 3 months to a phone that's been out for a year. And Samsung, I will give them credit. Samsung has given the industry credibility. They've given the industry credibility because they convince people that buying a phone that does this is reliable and it's safe and it works. And that's something that somebody needed to do. So Samsung gave the industry credibility when it came to fold and flip phones. Also, they made them widely available. They made it where you could get one pretty easy. Trade your phone in, get some financing, go through Samsung, go through your carrier, trade this. They've made them, I don't want to say affordable because they are very expensive. I'm not going to say everybody should go out and buy a $2,000 phone versus, I don't know, like a Motorola Edge or something that costs like $300, $400, $500. This has been a very good year for mid-range phones. And if you want to get a phone that costs $400, $500, there's a lot of options. The Motorola Edge, the Moto G Stylus, the Pixel 10a, 9a, even you can get your hands on one of those for a good deal. There's some really good mid-range price phones, even like the Samsung Galaxy A57 I just did a review on the other day. I think that's a good phone too. So we're in a good spot, whether you want a phone that has physical keys on it with a keyboard, whether you want a mid-range phone, whether you want an expensive foldable phone, whether you want a flagship phone, whether you want a short and fat folding phone. There's a lot of options that here are coming down the pipeline. And I think Samsung is poised to, make a splash, put some ripples in the water. But it's going to be very interesting to see how it's received with the new wide fold and also the Ultra. Will it be Ultra enough? Will the wide one have enough appealing qualities for people that they want to pick it up? Because we saw a new phone that came out last year, which was a Samsung S25 Edge, which fell flat on its face and basically nobody wanted, and all the tech reviewers destroyed it and made it sound like you were an idiot if you bought one. And of course, who asked for this phone? Right? Well, who asked for a wide foldable phone? Who asked for 2 folding phones? Who asked for phones with physical keyboards? We are in a smartphone era now where there is so much choice. You can basically get whatever you want and have it the way that you want it. And I'm really excited about that. And I'm excited about the upcoming Z Fold 8 and the Ultra, and I'll be covering them. The Z Flip 8, of course, will be here soon as well. And we don't have a secured, announced date yet, waiting on Samsung. But a lot of stuff is kind of pointing to around the 22nd, about the 3rd week of the month. So we're not far away. We're really not far away. And then we can see what we get. Hopefully some faster charging. Hopefully a bigger battery. Hopefully some newer cameras. Can't wait to see the screen technology. Can't wait to see if they got it brighter. There's a lot of stuff that it's waiting to see. Because we've seen so much of it from so many other brands already. Now it's time basically to see Samsung's response to this and what they've cooked up over the past year and how it will impact the industry and the market and whether they'll still stay on top as the king of the folding phones. So that's all I've got in this video. If you have any questions, comments, gripes, concerns, complaints, all that stuff, please, of course, go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as I said, hopefully everyone had a good holiday yesterday, 4th of July. I love the 4th of July. It is a great holiday for me. I love that it's the 250th anniversary of our country here. And I didn't make a video yesterday because, of course, everyone's barbecuing, grilling, spending time with family. I didn't want to bog y'all down with me talking about some silly phone stuff. But we're back today, and I had a good time when I had some barbecue with some family. I like a salad last night for dinner. Nothing too crazy. I like to be inside whenever that stuff's going off, because here in Texas, not only do people fire off fireworks, they also fire off firearms, and I always worry about where some of that stuff might land. So I like to stay inside on the night of the 4th of July, but I do love some fireworks, and I do love some freedom. So that's all I've got. As always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.